Hello, my babelets. Happy Sunday. Hello. We are back. Exciting, exciting. This is a Babelet live. So if you know, you know. If you don't, welcome. Join the Babelet crew. I'm Melly. For all the new subscribers, shout out to you guys. We've gotten a few this last weekend. So welcome to my home. Mods, please let me know if everything's good. I'm a little laggy on StreamYard, but that might just be a StreamYard thing. Hello, hello. You guys can hear me, right? Yes. Please hit the like button. Please, please, please. Sorry, let me fix my headphone. It's caught up in my her. Hello. I hope you guys have had a good weekend. I have had a delightful weekend. We're back at it today with more Mackenzie Shirilla. I know I've been heavy on this case. Don't worry, we still got Laura Owens and David lives. I might be coming back later today. If not, I'll be posting content for you guys. But don't worry, I'm not just a Mackenzie Shirilla channel, although it might seem like it. I've been covering the Mackenzie Shirilla case since 2024. So I would say we're pretty educated here about it. If you did not see my interview yesterday, I dropped it. I had the pleasure and blessing of sitting down with Dominic Russo's sister. So definitely make sure you check that out. It's under the videos tab on my YouTube channel page. So I know a lot of us are the babelets. The term babelets actually derived from this case. Yes, believe it or not. Dom and Mackenzie used to use that term. So that's how long we've been covering it for. What we're going to do is like rewind. We're going to go back through the grand jury documents, the police reports, and some phone calls. I do have a playlist for Mackenzie Shirilla case under playlist tab. And then I have another one that I just started for the newest batch of text messages reading we have done. I've already gone through them, so that's on the other playlist, but I started a new one for 2026, and that is under Mackenzie Shirilla and Dom text messages. So there's two different playlists. There's over 100 videos. Be my guest, and please, please, please eat your heart out. Enjoy. And make sure you please hit the like button, subscribe, etc., etc. Now shut up so we can get into this. There's a lot. I have a lot I want to share with you guys. I can't get through it all today, clearly, but we're going to start off with the two important pieces of information. PowerPoints that the grand jury, that was presented in court for the judge. It's two visuals with documents as well for those who are newer to the case and have just gotten into it thanks to the documentary that just released on this case. So that's why we're kind of touching base on everything again, but it's all good. It's all good content. So let's get into it. Let me shout everyone out real quick and I will get started. I see, lots of you guys here. Did we all have a drink, a coffee? I have my Dr. Pepper today. I see Evie. I see Taz. Hello, hello. Abuelita's Crease. Shout out to all my mods. Adrian. I appreciate you guys for being here and always being on my team. I see Glenda. I see Maggie. If I skip anyone, sorry, it's moving pretty fast. Amber. I saw Psycho. Hello, babelets. Angel Eyes. Amber Dawn. Thank you. Hoodies. Hello. I watched a documentary on Netflix, did not even touch the surface of the situation. Melly, keep uplifting the voices of this family in active trauma. I really appreciate this comment. We have always been Russo supporters, not just because the documentary dropped. That's not like a clout thing. We have been that since the beginning. And only by, I feel like we've all made that opinion by seeing all the facts, right? The police reports, the body cams, the phone calls, the text messages. It's very brutal. It's very toxic. It's very vile. Lots of cussing, lots of violence, toxic relationship. And my heart goes out to the Russo family as always. We love and support Dom and Davion, who lost their lives in this crash. And I just want to make that clear. Let's see. Hello, Beautifully Broken. Okay, I'll shut up and let's get started. Hello, Picasso. Hello, Wendy. Who is a Netflix show supporting Irritated because she, in my opinion, did this on purpose. She couldn't get a pass. I think, hello, Asani. I think that the Netflix documentary was trying to be somewhat gentle and be, like, neutral. I can respect that, and, whoever I talk about on here, don't show hate. We can do that as a community, like, not hating, but disagreeing with the Shirillas and those that are saying free Kenzie, right? I think you guys should really tune into the text message readings and start from the beginning. Don't be scared. I know the playlist is long, but if you start from 2020 text message reading, we've done all the way up to 22 to the day before the crash. You can form your own opinion of what you think if this was intentional if you are newer to the case. I really beg that you go through the documents and the files. It's very important, but I think that the documentary, not neutral, but I don't think they victim blamed. Like, I don't think on, at least for Netflix, the Russo family. I know the Shirillas did, but it does. I think Kenzie's own content makes her look how she is, right? I've gone over the Instagram post. We're gonna finish the Instagram report. I've gone over her Snapchats. I've gone over a lot. So that's why I say, like, just watch the content, see for yourself. We just like to come here and have a good time, cover it. Just because we have a good time, I do want to give another disclaimer is that we don't mean any disrespect. This case is very brutal. We know that. But I think sometimes in moments of darkness, when we cover a lot of true crime, it's necessary and I think it's fine. No one is laughing at anything regarding the case. It's just our relationship that we have here and the dynamic on my channel. Hello, Anthony, and hello, not meant to show hate, just been on from the beginning. She shows who she is. Yeah, I agree. Hello, Alicia. Just watching from the documentary. Her parents have definitely made sense. I know that was a long intro. People will be like, shut up in the comments. But I'll do what I want. So let's get started. What do I have? We're going to have the aggravated murder PowerPoint that the prosecution showed in court. Let me put up the chat. I recently told people that you went over approximately 4 years of text messages. Thank you, Just Jay. Thank you for all of those of you who are shouting me out and letting people know. I really appreciate it. I really do. Let me see if I'm missing anything else regarding the case. Hello, everyone. Hi, Just Jay. I'm glad you made it. Hello. I'm definitely a Beyblade. I have been here from the beginning. Bloody Mary for me today. Oof, that sounds good. I might have to have one of those later. Hello, Rochelle. Okay, so this is what the prosecution laid out in the trial. I'm working on getting those documents. So if you guys would like to help, that is always appreciated. I don't like to ask for money, but I do really want to get my hands on this document, and they're very expensive. But I'll do it. I'll do it. This is the aggravated murder Strongsville police case. The crime happened on July 31st, 2022. This is basically what they showed to the judge in the court, in the courtroom, and to whoever was there present. And these are just some of the pieces of information, evidence, like TikToks, etc., that they introduced there. I went on a Melly soapbox because of people being unaware of how dedicated you are to this case. Thank you, Nemo. Appreciate you. So this was one of her TikToks. It says, when everybody knows me, not from popularity, but from my horrible reputation. I really wanted you guys to see this stuff. Like, this is in our TikToks. We've already seen it, but this was what was in the actual file that was shown in the courtroom. And it's very telling, it's very telling. Feel free to drop your comments and your opinions about all of this. Horrible reputation. Yeah, no shit. Even more so now. I don't think that documentary did her any good other than getting the case out there, but that's not even how Mackenzie Shirilla talks. She doesn't talk like that. Her accent is new as of this year or that interview. Quote unquote mean girl. Several sources of information described Mackenzie Shirilla as being a mean girl. Investigators learned that Mackenzie was largely disliked among high school students for incidents of bullying and being awful to others. Below is an audio, which we're not going to listen to on here, but we'll listen to it later. An audio with Mackenzie. We have all the calls, we have all those Snapchats and everything. So don't you worry. We'll get there. Reckless and thank you, Evie, for gifting 5 memberships. I adore you. You're sweet. Um, who got him? Bruce. Oh, hey, Bruce. Hi, friend. Picasso Chad. I missed you. Hello, friend. Rochelle. Oh, I like that. I hope that YouTube's been working on that, getting their shit together with um gifting memberships to people who are like present in chats and stuff and actually participate. So and thank you, Alicia. Alicia's always been supportive as well for the Cash App. I really appreciate that. Welcome, new members. So, reckless and careless driving. Several sources of information have described Mackenzie Shirilla as being a crazy driver. This is important, and I did just drop a short on a couple of clips. I had to clip out the music for copyright purposes, but you don't need the music to see that she's driving and smoking and dancing and selfies. And this is what they're referring to. I have a file of the reckless and driving photos and videos. We can go through those on another live. These individuals have stated to investigators that Mackenzie would regularly drive fast, careless, and angrily. According to these individuals, it was common for Mackenzie to get into road rage situations. Below are some examples of careless and distracted driving from Mackenzie's own Snapchat account, which we do have. This was on May 10th, 2022, so just a couple of months before the crash. Mackenzie had been observed recording herself as while operating a motor vehicle and attempting to look into the camera lens. This video was posted to Mackenzie Shirilla's Snapchat profile. Let me see. I might be able to pull these up as we go. There's too many. I have hundreds and hundreds of Kenzie files. We will also be listening to some calls. One of them you guys might have not heard. Who knows? We'll get into it. We've covered a lot. Distracted driver continued. Videoed March 15th. Mackenzie can be observed operating a vehicle while recording this video. During the course of the video, Mackenzie is observed taking her eyes off the road several times. Additionally, Mackenzie added hard effects to the video. It is unknown if these effects were added while driving or at a later time. This one is April 19th, 2022. So they were stacking up in their investigation, right? Stuff that they would find so that they could prove that she was a reckless driver and she did smoke all the time while driving. This one's from April 19th, 2022. Mackenzie is again observed recording herself while operating a motor vehicle. Additionally, Mackenzie physically manipulates her phone to display that her legs are up in the seat and not near the pedals. The video leads investigators to believe that the vehicle was more than likely in cruise control at the time of the recording, with Mackenzie's feet being up on the seat, not near the brake, and her attention being on the camera. The odds of an accident occurring in this situation are very likely. Let me just show you guys what they're referring to, because I clipped them all in a short and I have it up. So we might as well just go over it so you guys can see for yourself. Please make sure you guys are hitting the like button. It is greatly appreciated. All these videos you can find on my I hate how YouTube does this sometimes. Hold, please. How do I make this? Oh, there we go. Okay. This is some of the images that they're talking about, so you can see. There's no sound, but you can see what they're seeing, as in, look at her driving, and you'll see the one with her on her feet as well. Look at her dropping there. That's what they're talking about here. This short is up on the shorts section. I can't. I just can't. You guys know how I feel about this with the big old glasses. She's literally driving. How do you do that? How do you do that? It's actually like, oh, and she's flipping everyone off. That's great. Here's the one they talked about at the beginning of the slide where she has hearts. I'm stunned. Who can do this? Don't do it. This is nuts. This is nuts. Oh, there she is flipping us off again. She must really not like us. These are all different days too, so don't you think you're watching the same one? That's why she's wearing a different outfit, clear obviously. Why are those glasses so big? Oh, okay. Mhm. Yeah, we get it. Don't be a Kenzie. Look at those are the ones that just said with her 2 feet up on the seat. Who the that I don't even like to drive cruise control, it scares me sometimes. Let's go back to that. Really? Their ugly feet? Wow. Wow. Just wow. Oh, there she is. Smoking one. It's nighttime. I wanted to include some from nighttime in here too, so she's laughing. She couldn't just do this at home? I had to be in the car? I know some of you guys are in the chat. I can't either, it's just so gross. If these effing dabs if it's those effing dabs that's equivalent to freebase, why is it yeah. I am so bad just wearing glasses. Can you enlarge somehow? Can I do that on here, the short? No, I'm sorry. But definitely go check it out. It's in my shorts section. Um, okay. Let's get I just wanted to make sure you guys saw those as we go through this document. Let me pull up where we were at. Be nice to hear the audio. Yeah, it's like Cardi or Playboy Cardi songs, lots of rap songs. Um, but I don't want to get they might be on my channel from before. I might have already I know I posted them with the audio in one of the lives and I just took the hit because I wanted you guys to hear, but I'm trying to behave. Distracted driving. This was March 24th, 2022. Mackenzie's operating a vehicle while filming Snapchats of herself singing along to music while looking into the camera. She is clearly paying little attention to the road as her eyes can be observed leaving the road several times. These were only 4 examples of distracted driving by Mackenzie. Approximately 8 months of Snapchat history showed hundreds of similar videos. Um, Snapchat. Okay, this is from March 30th. Mackenzie is observed at a red light on Shermer Road and Pearl Road and was involved in some sort of road rage situation. I have those clips. We're gonna go over them. Those have sound and you can hear her like cussing the people out. So we'll definitely go through those. Leading Mackenzie to snap the photo, then add the banner next to it, which reads, "This dumb bitch AF." It is unknown to investigators if the banner was typed out and the image was shared while operating the motor vehicle. Angry driving road rage. April 1st, 2022, Mackenzie can be observed operating a motor vehicle on an unknown road. Mackenzie was involved in some sort of road rage situation, leading Mackenzie to snap the photo, then add the banner next to it, which reads, "Dumbass." It is unknown to investigators if the banner was typed out while driving. March 24th, 2022, and yet another example of anger and rage coming from Mackenzie while in a motor vehicle. Mackenzie is observed in the video cursing and name calling someone who parked slightly on a parking space line at Polaris Career Center in Middlesbrough Heights. I do have that. Oh, I don't know if you'll be able to hear the sound. You might not, so I'll have to wait and do that later. This one's March 20th, 2022. Mackenzie recorded a video of her vehicle speed, which I just showed you guys that she was going 90 miles per hour both times in the day and in the nighttime. Investigators have identified this noticeable steering wheel cover as the one inside Mackenzie's vehicle. In the video, Mackenzie records her speedometer, which is reading 90 miles per hour. Nowhere in the state of Ohio is the speed limit 90 miles per hour. Additionally, at these dangerous speeds, Mackenzie is failing to maintain full-time inattention to the roadway as she is simultaneously driving at a high rate of speed and recording a video. April 19th, 2022, Mackenzie's recording a video of her vehicle speed again. We saw both of these. In this video, Mackenzie records her speedometer, which is reading 93 miles per hour. Breaking and entering the Columbia Church of God. If you guys don't know about this, there have been incidents where Mackenzie was shoplifting. We're going to go over that police report today. There was one where they broke into a church. There was numerous situations where law enforcement has somewhat have been involved. In the following videos of, I'm going to do that on a separate live of this incident specifically, but they are seen breaking into a church. And Shirilla is recorded stating, I am taking that, as she takes the possession of an item belonging to the Columbia Church of God. And here's the breaking and the entering of the church. Drug use. In the next slides, you will see Mackenzie Shirilla using marijuana, lean, and mushrooms. In the crash, at the time of the crash, she was caught with, she had mushrooms on her in her clothing, which I did want to actually talk about because we've done a review on the documentary, and I know a lot of us are like, she wasn't drunk, she wasn't on mushrooms. So that's why the prosecution or the investigators, it led them to think that it was something else. And my thing is, when watching the documentary, let me know what you guys think. It was in her clothes, like it was in her pockets or something, or she was like hiding it on her person. So I'm wondering why that was. Why that was. Was that an intentional thing, or was she just had it in her clothing? Because I don't understand why it wouldn't be in her purse. Now, was she trying to hide it before the crash? I don't know. Marijuana and mushrooms are illegal in the state of Ohio, as well as federally in the United States. Lean is only available if made with prescription cough medicine. Here's a couple of pictures of her smoking. We'll see these better in the social media. It was in her waistband. Yeah, and that's my thing, is why was it in her waistband? In case she got pulled over. Trying to steal them from them. I could see that, like, why not just, I guess she didn't wanna leave him at the house, but interesting. Here's more of her smoking. We'll look at a better view of these later. Here she is lean. This is a picture that's actually in the documentary of the mushrooms. This one here, and then this is her from a previous time. Not that night, but a previous time. This is what was on her person. So a scale, mushrooms, and $165 in cash. This right here is the drug chemistry lab report. The final report, we'll go into this one later as well. It says exhibit number 2, a bag of suspect mushrooms weighing approximately 8.1 grams, as tested, sealed evidence bag containing a plastic bag with mushroom material, net weight 6.91 grams. At a coverage probability of 95.45%. And here is the suspected reckless behavior, Ohio University on Halloween. These images and videos on the next slide were all taken the weekend before Halloween at Ohio University and posted to open social media sites by Shirilla and Rosie. In these images and videos, Shirilla and her friends are seen partying around Ohio University with no cane, crutch, or walker. Shirilla is even seen dancing, smiling, and singing along. Why was this important? Oh, my bad. Why did it do that? It kicked it every time I stopped sharing. I don't know. StreamYard's acting up. Let me go back. I'm sorry. You guys are like, we can't see that. Dom was wanting to get out of the relationship. Yeah. I think you guys last seen from here, right? You guys see the lean part or no? Sorry, sometimes StreamYard does this like weird hiding sharing thing, and I always click on it and it does that. I think it's done it in the text messages too. Um, let me switch my screen. I like it on the other side. If we listen to jail calls and listen to how she treats her parents as well as others, she's abusive. I just got the impression, in my opinion, that people around her. Yeah, I agree. Wouldn't you like to see them? My bad. Now you guys can see them. Smoking. And here's these. You guys can see them now, right? Oh, here's a picture in the documentary. My bad. This was the actual picture they used in the documentary, and then that's the bag of mushrooms that she had on her person. Here's where I was reading from, and the mushrooms, the scale, the money, and the report. My house is my oncologist. So I'm messaging him about Kenzie's mushroom. Oh, that's nice. Thanks. Let me know. Didn't she and her mom talk about Dom having rugs on having her keep rugs on her wall in the car? I could be imagining that, so don't take I don't think that was necessarily I think they were both just worried about it, you know? What is lean? Lean is did I already go by that? Yeah, I did. Lean is promethazine with codeine. So it is commonly made with cough medicine combined with soda or any other drink of the user's choice. Lean was made popular by rappers and rap videos as well as social media. This drink gives users a high sensation. We'll go over these pics better too because I have them in the right format. This was just what the court had. So here's shoes with the lean, the mushrooms. This is for educational purposes only. All of these are public documents retrieved from obtained by FOIA. So for YouTube disclaimer purposes, this is going to be important because we have a whole folder of pictures to go over this later. But this they introduced at the bench trial because this was only a couple months after the crash. So rather than grieving two people that have died, and maybe everyone grieves differently, and maybe she was doing even more substances or wanting to go out because of it. I don't know. I don't think it's cool. I think it's very evil towards the two victims. She dressed as a corpse, which her family is denying, saying it is Playboy Cardi. This is Rosie. They dressed as Drink and Zaza. So Kenzie was allegedly Playboy Cardi, and then she's dressed up as Weed. So is Rosie. So it was just proving to it was they were showing it to prove that she had no remorse after the crash because the crash happened July 31st, 2022, and this was of October that year. Suspected reckless behavior. Here it is again, them on Halloween. Yeah, see, I guess everyone is different, but I'm curious, let me know how you guys would be feeling. I don't think I could be out. I'm 54 and I never knew what mushrooms looks like. Yeah, they literally are like they look like dried up mushrooms. Love Dom, hate Mackenzie, but I always wonder why Dom's family didn't give the police his phone. I don't I'm not sure. That might be a good question for his sister. I don't know if they needed it. Maybe they did. Who knows, you know? We don't have all the information from the case. There's still a lot of other stuff out there too. This is a drug trafficking THC oil. Okay, so Here they are trying to show that she had been selling rugs, previously. So on February 17th, 2022, people are asking her, "Can I come pick up some weed? I only have $40, et cetera, et cetera." Above is a screen clip of Mackenzie messaging via Snapchat with a friend. In this conversation, he asked Shirilla if he can pick up a cart to get today. Investigators know a cart to be a cartridge that goes onto a vape pen. The cartridges often contain THC liquid, which can be smoked out of the vape pen. Here's more conversations. You got another sativa cart? Yes, awesome. You want me to bring it to school tomorrow? Austin might pick it up tonight if that's all right. So they're basically proving her bad behavior from prior. And it's different, like, oh, she smoked, they all smoke, he smoked. Yeah, but they weren't the ones who drove their car into a brick wall at 100 miles per hour. So it's very different. Joya says, I'm not sure, Nemo. I don't think I could get over killing 2 people, accident or not, let alone go out with 2 months of it. I don't think so. Exactly 3 months, no way could I attend a party when my love was murdered by my hands. Exactly, abuelita. So is she just incredibly dumb? The social media and texts are what helped to put away. Yes. Yes, they are. I think that contributed majorly. Um, the mushrooms. Here she's talking with Rosie. So Kenzie says, I mean, I want a trip, but I don't know what to do. This is July 10th. So 21 days before the crash. She says, I mean, I want a trip, but I don't know what to do. Rosie says, me and Bubba are going to go camping tomorrow. We got to buy some shrooms from Dom. Shirilla says, pull up. We got you later. It's oil day. 7:10, dab day. Rosie says, we're pulling up. Kenzie says, what's your ETA? Dom says, we're smoking a bowl. Rosie says, we're smoking a bowl right real quick. It'll take 5 minutes. Then we're coming. Let me put it in GPS. She says 13 minutes. And then Rosie says, can I pick up the shroomy soon? Kenzie says, I think it's in South America. I don't know what she's referring to there. Rosie says, OMFG, of course. Yes, let me tell Dom, Shirilla says. Rosie says, we got to go on a trip on the 11th. Kenzie says, he just got put their bathroom. I'm about to ask. I'll let you know when to come. Rosie says, okay. Kenzie says, it's $40 and come through to my house. My house. It's funny how Steve Shirilla says, like, oh, she can smoke all she wants, which I thought that was like very ick. Like, why would you go on a Netflix documentary and just be like, oh, yeah, she can smoke weed? I don't have a problem with weed. I don't. I really don't. But the fact that he just goes on a Netflix documentary and is like, oh, um, he's like, as long as she's not shooting up. And I'm like, why? That's a trashy thing to say on a Netflix documentary. So as a BH specialist, PTSD and CPTSD can be debilitating in the case of the loss of a partner. You're devastated. However, at the loss of a partner, you're never worked with anyone. Hey, ATS. I don't know. That made me uncomfortable, but we know all about Steve Shirilla. We've gone through their text messages too. We might have to go through those one more time since there's a lot of new people to this case, and I'm loving it. I'm loving that a lot of people are getting into it. Okay, so this is continued. Oh, wait. She says, $40. Can I also get a quarter of bud? Rosie loves her message. Then Shirilla says, I got you 2. Rosie says, bet. Kenzie says, what kind of bud? Rosie says, thank you, best plug. Kenzie says, do you want the low or higher price? Rosie says, the low. Kenzie says, bet. Rosie says, bet. Kenzie says she loves the message that says, thank you, best plug. You should make a TikTok vlog of you tripping, says Kenzie. LOL. Rosie says, LMFAO. I want to so bad, but my mom has TikTok and I blocked her, but her weird ass would make another account. Do you want me to come now? Kenzie says, Shake my head. I wish I could post that shit too. My mom follows me too. So imagine all those Snapchats that we have gone through and all of that. Like Natalie Shirilla's just there, like eating popcorn, like watching her daughter, just like, oh yeah, so cute. So cute. You cussing out a bus school driver, like, because we're gonna see that clip too. But I'm just like, it's not very kind, I guess. Kenzie, um, Kenzie says, my mom follows me too. Rosie says, right, LOL. Kenzie says, how far are you? And then Rosie says, but your mom's chill. She says, I'm at Bubba's. So right by the high school. Kenzie says, okay, pull up. Rosie says, bet. So Rosie and Bubba were dating at this time. I assume they still are. Um, that documentary was filmed last year though, so things could be different now. Kenzie says, also $50 for the quarter, but he said he's going to give you a little more than a quarter. Rosie says, bet, thank you. Do you have a 10 and change? All I have is 20. She says, actually, never mind, I got it. Kenzie says, oh my bad, I didn't even see you say that. It's okay, Bubba has, says Rosie. Kenzie says, okay, just let me know when to come. I'm just going to be waiting in my driveway. Rosie says, okay, coming. Kenzie says, bet, I'm just in my driveway. This is on the 14th, so a few days later. Kids can hide their Snap stories from parents. My parents would never get on Snap. I love the phone call where Natalie and Kenzie were talking about the church. Me too. 100 years ago, when I was a teen, my mom would allow beer as long as she got it. She told us girls don't ever take a drink from someone. We've all made mistakes, right? Like we've all partied, we've all done that, like whatever, to each their own. I try not to judge people based off their past unless it's making some kind of it's a factor to the present, right? It's like we see it with the JLR situation. We cover the JLR thing here too. It's like you're still a piece of shit. You haven't got better. You're beating on your girlfriend, and that's years later after you went in prison. If you change and make the intent to be a better person and you better yourself, I take that for value in humans. And I think that for so long, like Kenzie was just out of control. And I get it, it's a teenager type of thing, but her parents didn't step in. They were more friends, I think, than parents. And we can see that when we read the text messages and their dynamic. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Let me know what you think. She was doing drugs that night, but the amount wasn't high enough to affect her driving, correct? Yeah, she just had THC in her system. There was no mushrooms in her system, no alcohol. So, um, I had a lot of freedom. I did personally growing up, but my parents kept me under control as much as they could, and if I couldn't, they would be assisting, right? They would be against it. Like if I kept getting in trouble, they would be on my ass and they would discipline me, and thank goodness for that. Now that I'm older, I'm like, "Oh, thank you," because who knows what have happened. I used to party like this too. I would be lying if I've talked about my past openly here on my channel, and so that goes for all of us, like, okay, partying, whatever, but she killed 2 people, right? So it's a little bit different. She says Kenzie says, "I wanna go to the fair on Friday with you." Rosie says, "Friday, I'm tripping with Bubba again because his parents are going out of town. You can come over and trip if you want with Dom." And yeah, I was gonna go to the fair Friday too. Kenzie says, "We wanted to trip at the carnival." Rosie says, "Well, maybe while I'm tripping, haha, Kenzie says, "We should all trip." Rosie says, "Yes." Kenzie says, "LMAO, yes. Okay, we down." Bro, you about to see me geeking, she says. Rosie says, "Also, I don't know how many shroomies I need because me and Bubba tripped like 4 days ago." So you know that part in the documentary where they're like, so Rosie's like, "We're just stoners." Well, Rosie, you forgot to include in here that y'all were taking mushrooms. Like it was your vitamin D gummy in the morning, you know? It was when I was 18, 25. I was super dumb. Yeah, see? We all done that. When your parents get repeatedly called by school for incidents of bullying and the only response is that, well, she said she didn't do. Yeah, when I was ditching in high school, like my dad took my car. Um, I was a young driver and my dad took my car. So I was like, no, better get my shit together. Um, she will always around us, my mom's theory was kids will go dumb, try things, let's try to control the dumbness. It was almost a deterrent. Yeah, mom was honest. Definitely not parents. I did drink when I was in high school. I never blacked out where I cannot remember anything. Oh yeah, I did a lot of times. She didn't have real good parents. No, sadly, no. And I think that comes through in the documentary, you know? Um, so Rosie says, me and Bubba just tripped. Bubba is also in the documentary. His name is Landon. Um, Rosie says, but yeah, bring enough shrooms for all of us. Paul and Dave, LMFAO, we should all have cash. I have some. I'm excited. Fuck, except my mom and stepdad haven't gone yet. I don't know if they're still going. I'm gonna pass out or run away if I see my mom. LOL. Kenzie says, how much do you and Bubba want? Rosie says, I don't know. I took 2 and he took 3 last time, but since it was 4 days ago, does that mean I need more or can I take the same amount? Maybe 2 for me. Kenzie says, probably a little more. Rosie says, man, then I don't even know. Kenzie says, maybe 2.5 and 3.5. Rosie says, whatever you think is good for me. LMFAO. Sure. Kenzie says, have you took over 2 Gs? Rosie says, I think I took 2.5 last time and 2 for the first time. Kenzie says, oh, then just do 2.5. At least can't go wrong with that. Was your trip too strong on 2.5? Rosie says, okay, Bubba said yes to 3.5 and Davion wants 2. Kenzie says, how much does Paul? Rosie says, he said he told you, I don't know, what did he say when you talked to him? And bring what you're going to eat with it. I'm going to get myself a Kit Kat or a Get Go right now. Kenzie says, yeah, we're coming. We're about to go back home right now. The carnival is packed. Rosie says, oh shit, LMFAO. Okay, wait 1 sec though. Bubba's picking up Dave. Kenzie says, we're not coming to your house right now. We're leaving the carnival. This is on the 15th. I don't know Bubba's address. Okay, bet. She says, it's on Raccoon Trail. Kenzie says, okay, bet. I'm at the light by the carnival right now. 2 parties discussing driving from carnival. Kenzie says, how much do you want? Graham says 2.5. Graham says, we're almost back. That's Rosie. We can also give you 40 for Bud too. We're somewhere else right now, but I don't know if we're gonna come yet, says Kenzie. Rosie says, oh no, you should come. I'm gonna be at Paul's by 11. Could we still buy off Dom if you guys don't want to trip? You should just come hang for a little or smoke. Kenzie says, okay, bet. Do you need? We might come. Graham says yes. And they keep conversating about, we're probably going to come over. This was on the 30th. So let's go back to the 30th. Did I skip something? Oh yeah, I did. She says, I'm going to be at Paul's. We could still buy off Dom if you guys don't want to trip. You guys should just come hang out. Kenzie says, okay, bet. Do you need? We might come. Graham says, yes. Me, Paul, Nina, and Bud need them and some Bud too. Do you not want to trip? Did you guys already trip today at the zoo? Kenzie says, we're not sure because it's already so late. Dom says, and no, we're going to, but we didn't. Kenzie says, yeah, we can give you, this is on the 30th. So the day before the accident. Yeah, we can give you guys that. We're on the way home. There's typos here. Rosie says, bet. Kenzie says, we're probably going to come. Rosie says, okay, cool. So this was like right before the party. Rosie says, we want 40 worth of Bud and Baba wants 3. I want 2.5. Nina wants 1.5 and Paul wants 2.5. So these are standard text messages between Mackenzie Shirilla and Rosie Graham. These conversations took place over several days between July 10th and July 30th. These conversations all revolve around Shirilla taking orders for obtaining and selling mushrooms. Possible prostitution and pandering. Yes, they did include this in the trial. I was always honest with my girls and told them if something happens, you need help, just to call. Yeah. This is poor advice, not surprising with the source. Kenzie is incorrect. The truth comes out in docs. It's obvious. Yeah. But beautifully says, we all know Makila's family is trash. Wendy says, who hasn't partied? Who hasn't made mistakes? Right. However, a teenage kind of thing still has compassion. Mackenzie Shirilla, in my opinion, from what I've seen and having watched her behavior, has never had compassion. No, I agree. So Kenzie was doing and selling stuff on Snapchat. We have reviewed that in the text messages, and apparently the investigators found it too. Says in the following slides, Kenzie's depicted having there's depicted conversations between Mackenzie and her Snapchat. These conversations may be graphic and uncomfortable to some as they contain explicit sex conduct. You guys ready for this? Wild. Yes. Yes, you are hearing this right. You are hearing this right. Faith was the other friend. Yeah, but Faith didn't I found that Faith didn't lie up there like Rosie did. So, to me, they're two very different people. You know what I mean? Kenzie says, what day is this? August 11th. So this is after the crash. Well, some are August 11th. We'll go through the dates. Kenzie says, "Can we do this or what?" On August 11th. Somebody says 4 bands. This is in July 15th, right before the crash. Kenzie says, "You can have 4 straps of ones, LOL." Kenzie says $1,000. Somebody said, "You finger that PUSSY for me while I'm doing it, then F ya. I'm down. UASQIRTER." Yes. I think when we initially went through this document, we kind of like went past this, but like you guys, this is a big deal for the Babelets. Like this is crazy. You finger that, you know what, for me, and I, you know what, while I am doing that, then F yeah, I am down. Kenzie says, or I don't know how this goes. Send 1,000 and we can link anything you want for $2,500. This was on July 22nd. So 9 days before the crash. And now that we have seen, it's like watching the documentary is like bringing all of this up for me because I'm like, wait, we've gone through this. But then I'm thinking, could this have played a factor in that crash? My theory, and I talked about this with Dom's sister in my interview. My theory was like they got in a fight, something happened in that car. And my theory is that Dom was like, "You can go home to your house and I'm going to go home to mine," or like, "I don't want to be with you anymore." Because when that little hangout happened, they had already been breaking up for months, on and off, for years. But before that little get together at that house the night of the crash, well, it was that night, but then the morning of the crash, um, they had recently got back together. They were, like, off for, like, a few days, and so now I'm wondering if maybe Dom was just so fed up with her crap, the abuse, and then with all of this and him knowing that she was selling herself, I think Dom was over it. And I think he was like, "I'm done." Did he find out about this maybe? I mean, that's my theory, ATS, because and it's crazy how I had to go back through these documents to see because I'm like, "Wait, when was this?" And this was Friday, July 22nd. She says, send 1,000, we can link anything you want for $2,500. Anything you want. You get cash money in person, no effing way. I send you anything up front, especially 1K. So let me know when and where you want to do it. In the above conversation, Shirilla communicates with Redacted, and Shirilla discusses doing something for which Shirilla originally quotes 4 bands, which investigators now known to be slang for $4,000. Redacted then asks, I'm not going to read that sentence again. I think you guys are enough. You guys can read it right here. It's really foul. Shirilla responds, send $1,000. We can link for anything you want for $2,500. Advises $1,000 for the acts listed above and $2,500 for anything. This was shocking when I was going through stuff again last night. I'm like, did we miss this or has it just been so long that we've reviewed the beginning of the documents, you know? This person said, or I think 1K pics, 2K link, Kenzie says. And then it says, you for real doing meets? Okay, if you are, take a month. Okay, if you're gonna take a month between each response, then I'm not interested. And this was on July 17th through the 15th. So it's building up. July 17th, 15th, 17th, and then it goes to July 22nd, August 11th, 2022. This was like, whoa. So she had just killed 2 people on July 31st, 2022. She was in the hospital on August 6th. I don't know when she got out exactly. This is August 11th. How can you kill 2 people and then just think about selling inappropriate material? I mean, what the what I'm like shook. I'm shook. I miss this. I miss this. She says, somebody says, video call me. I got 300 right now. Let's have fun. Somebody said, need a sugar daddy. I got 300. Let's video. And here's all the stuff that was sent. So the investigators have proved here that she did send those. So for all those Kenzie defenders, especially those that are hard on backing her up here, I beg you to watch this live or go through this document. Send me a band and we can link up. She's like, send me $1,000. You can have that ass for $1,000. That's basically what she's saying. Don't mind me over here. Cash App. You know, this would be a good time to ask, hey, Natalie Shirilla, what do you think about this? What do you think? Yeah, wild. Because Kenzie had to be paying for things she couldn't afford besides the clothes. Yeah, because Dom was gone. Dom was dead because she killed him. Shouldn't she have been healing both mentally, emotionally, and physically? I guess you can do that by showing people your ass. I don't know. ATS says, holy shit. Cree says, I can't believe that. That explains her itching. Ugh, I don't want to hear it. She can do nasty stuff, but got mad at Dom for hanging out with family and friends. Thank you. And every time Dom hung out with his friends, Kenzie's like, you're cheating on me. You're a hoe. La, la, la. And then here we see that, well, Kenzie, the only one who was doing anything was you. Here she is showing off this money. Oh, I did that again. Good thing I looked. You guys would be like, what the? Butt bumps for an extra 1,000. You guys have to hear the text messages. A lot of the references in the chat are from the text messages. So what's funny is none of this is hers. I mean, maybe some of it is. It's Dom's. Respectfully. Get your own money, Kenzie, you dirty. More pictures of them. Dom was the one making money in the relationship. So far, the investigation has shown large amounts of money being sent to Shirilla with no explanation as to where it is being earned coming from. All information has pointed to Shirilla being unable to maintain legal employment. Almost done with this one. Aggravated murder of Dominic Russo and Davion. Here is the turn. She makes that turn here, and this is where she starts accelerating. So she makes this turn perfectly fine. You'll see that in the documentary. And these are just them showing that. Okay, let's move on to the next. I know we've learned. I'm shook. I'm shook that I missed that. The dates. I connected that last night and I was like, after the crash, she's grody. What does Natalie Shirilla think about that? Yeah, I really want to know. I really would like to know. Okay, next document. After this, we're going to go over a few calls and then we'll get back into documents. The grand jury. Mackenzie Shirilla, Dominic Russo, Davion. July 31st, 2022 at 6:15 is when they got the call. City of Strongsville, Cuyahoga County. We have gone over this body cam. It's on the playlist if you want to look at it. We'll probably go over it again this week. A passerby called 911 to report a motor vehicle crash. Strongsville police and Strongsville fire units were dispatched to where the 𝗶𝗀𝗃𝗃 building was. This is a video, but we'll see that in the body cam. Strongsville police officers 𝗝𝗄𝗃 and 𝗶𝗏𝗋𝒃𝒃 were first on the scene. 3 occupants were in the vehicle and had to be mechanically extricated. The driver, 17-year-old Mackenzie, was removed from the driver's seat. She was alive and was flown to Metro. Front passenger, 20-year-old Dominic, and the rear passenger, 19-year-old Davion, were both dead on arrival. While Mackenzie Shirilla was being assessed by medics, one of them located a digital scale in a clear bag containing a substance that tested positive for mushrooms and weighed over 6 grams. The items were in her waistband. Members of the public provided the first clue that this crash was not an accident. Tyler Croy, okay, these are all the friends, provided screenshots from Davion Flanagan's Life 360 shows the vehicle he was in was driving 90 miles per hour and posted in a 35 mile per hour zone. So in the documentary, when you see the friends go and report the Life 360, that really helped assist in this as well. 90 miles per hour at 5:35 and at 5:36, the crash. Waistband, exactly, ATS. Exactly. Abuelita says that maybe she could have been hiding, for in case they got pulled over. But I mean, it's 6 in the morning. Kenzie didn't give a shit if they got pulled over. Kenzie was like always had a bunch of weed and stuff in her car and doing stuff she wasn't supposed to be doing. So for her to suddenly that morning be like, oh, I'm going to hide the shrooms, that would be a first. If anything, Dom was the more concerned one. And who knows? Who knows what that conversation was like about it? But the point is that it was found on Kenzie's person and not Dom's. So now we'll never know the truth behind that because Kenzie will not tell the truth and Dom isn't here to say anything. So this is a closer up picture. Or I'm wondering if she really thought she would survive and hid the mushrooms because she was doing it intentionally. That's my other thought. Her foot wouldn't press down and even foot drop with her wedges. She can't accelerate like that. She did tuck it in there quick after crash. That's a good theory as well, ATS. Did she tuck it in there? Is it possible her parents asked Netflix to leave the prostitution stuff out of the documentary? Well, they can leave it out of the Netflix documentary, baby, but they do not control Mellyverse, and we are not leaving it out. This is just what I think. Davion might have been alive right after the accident and talking to Kenzie. That's why she asked how Davion was when they pulled her out of the wreck. That's another thing too, is Kenzie asked about Davion and not Dom. I would be concerned for both if that had just happened. The fact that she even survived blows my mind. But you know what? Karma works in mysterious ways, and maybe that's what it's supposed to be. Maybe she's supposed to be locked up in a prison for the rest of her life. As much as she's wearing makeup and making out with girls in the prison, in the female prison, No one wants to be in there. It's horrible to be incarcerated, to not have your freedom. I've talked about this multiple times in my experiences, and she can act like she's having all the fun in the world, but hopefully, I don't think she'll get parole. We'll see. Hopefully, she spends the rest of her life in there until she's a little grandma. The Toyota went slightly off the road and aimed directly at the corner of the Plitco building as evidenced by the tire tracks. Point of impact. I mean, the car literally split in half, you guys. We've seen the body cam and how brutal it is, but like, look at this. Yes, yes, please make sure you guys are hitting the like button. It really helps push out the lives into the algorithm. Sadly, on the call, she makes it sound she hid it from him. Good behavior and remorse. She's shown none of that. Here's a event data recorder, the black box. Wow. Every time I see these pictures of the body cam, like the state of the car, how the reconstructionists went through, bless their hearts. Any of the officers and detectives and Tim Troop, who was the one in the Netflix documentary, like, oh, here's what they showed in the Netflix documentary where it proves that she didn't slow down. She didn't slow down. And I love this slide. I love it because it literally shows that the accelerator pedal was 100% the whole time. I couldn't survive prison. I'd get my ass beat. It's gross in there. You have to like use dirty toilets. Sometimes you don't have water. Food is gross. People have to watch you dookie. Like it's just she can say she's having all the fun in the world. Better. Let's tell the parole board that so you can stay in there and have all the fun you want. So 100 miles per hour. It also shows that the car was put in neutral. Yes. And the brake right here. Off. So you would think if she had POTS and she blacked out, why would the pedal be pushed down full max? Why? They proved that the slipper wasn't a factor. So I can't imagine why this wouldn't go down even a little bit. You think you'd go limb if you were to pass out and not keep pressing the gas. It's so sad they were panicking, but probably didn't think to jump out. They did. I don't think they had enough. Yeah, I don't think they had enough time ATS. I think Dom and Davion maybe realized what was going on and at 100 miles per hour. I mean, maybe that's why Dom and Davion didn't have seatbelts on. Maybe they undid their seatbelt and before they could open the door and jump out, it was too late. Here's where it shows the shift position. Drive, drive, drive. I don't know what this means. SEQ sequence. Neutral, neutral, drive, drive, neutral, neutral, neutral. Something was going on in that car. And I'm wondering if it was Dom and Davion. So it's in drive. And the steering wheel shows sharp turn. Not sharp turn, but like moving the steering wheel sharply. Shift position, drive, 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 neutral, drive, drive, neutral, neutral, neutral. That's very, very wild. Yeah, I'm trying to like envision myself like how would that be? I'm wondering if they were fighting so bad and Kenzie was like, I'm doing something or whatever. And that's when Davion, like, reached forward, which would explain why Davion was found partially on top of Dom. Here's what the expert said about the EDR. The vehicle was traveling with the accelerator pedal fully engaged. At no point was a service brake applied. The pedal was depressed to 100% for a minimum of 5.85 seconds prior to impact with the wall. There was no braking for the vehicle, and there was a request for 100% acceleration with full pedal pressure. Forensic examination. It is my professional opinion that the vehicle was free of defect at the time of the event and showed no evidence of a malfunction causing or contributing to the event. Crash reconstruction. Speed in front of the Parma movers while navigating a curve at 98.1 miles per hour. I love that in my conversation with Dom's sister yesterday, she told us, right, that this path, you have to, it's very like, you have to be paying attention. You know what I mean? Well, the impact would also throw him. Yeah, that's true. I bet they would have taken Natalie's phone and computer. Her search engine would show POTS, another illness that causes you to pass out. They tried whatever they could to stop her. I believe that. They try to save their lives. Yes, Anthony. She's a really bad liar. Absolutely. She didn't pass out, period. That's the devil's lie. I know. I'm with you beautifully. Abuelita said, I think it was Davion. If she had POTS and passed out, Dominic or Davion would have done something and they would be here with us today. Think about where she was found for a minute. She may have been pinned, but she was in the safest place. She probably locked the doors and made sure they couldn't have time to escape, right? If she passed out, she would not have the gas pinned. It's awful. But I wanted to show this because I'm like, okay, okay, we need to cover all of this again now that the documentary is out. People need to see the truth. Medical records and toxicology. Pursuant to 2 separate search warrants, I obtained Mackenzie Shirilla's medical records from Metro Health. Physicians confirmed the reports and testified at the PC hearing that Mackenzie did not suffer from any condition that would have caused or contributed to the crash. And I actually have the DMV document. It might be in my live for today or tomorrow. There's basically a Kenzie live. I'll be doing 2 lives every day for the rest of the week. But it's in one of the lives we're gonna do, the DMV, where Natalie Shirilla signs that she knew her daughter had no medical conditions. So who's lying now? Not me. I didn't do it. I didn't say it. Side eye. No reported history of seizures either. Toxicology. Currently, there's no level of THC or any of its metabolites which necessarily determines the degree to which Mackenzie is impaired, nor do these drugs impair the blood. They may impair the brain, says the toxicologist. Tested negative for shrooms and tested negative for alcohol. And here's the actual laboratory report. Delta 9 THC positive. Right after the wheel was turned both left and right. What was odd is they claimed it was a medical condition, but had it no, they didn't have, that's right, a medical expert. Because no one's gonna go out there and say that if it's not true, you know? Here's the mushrooms. We already looked at this earlier in the other one. And here's a couple of pictures showing her room in her closet with Dom. I love how she literally she says, someone responds to her, "What exactly do you make?" Kenzie says, "More than you." No, that's Dom. But I guess for selling your body, you could probably make that money she was making, you know? It would be easy to have an expert witness back that claim up if it was actually possible. Yeah. If POTS was the reason why I let her drive. No, that's why I found the DMV report because I wanted to show that Natalie Shirilla verified she did not have any medical condition. So she went on Netflix and lied. To determine motive, search warrants were obtained for Mackenzie's cell phone, iCloud, Snapchat, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and we have all of these. As far as like the social medias. The incident on July 17th, 2022. So this is where her mom says, "Oh, but Dom had been threatening her. They had been fighting. He threatened her in the car 2 weeks before or a week prior." I don't agree with that. Clearly, you guys know that because just Kenzie's so manipulative. You have to hear the text messages to understand where I'm coming from if you haven't. Mackenzie was driving her vehicle on I-71 near Bagley Road on July 17th, so a week before the accident. Well, crash, not an accident. Dominic Russo called his mother, Christine, asking her to pick him up from the highway, citing Mackenzie was threatening to crash the car. Witness Christopher went to pick up Dominic. While on the phone with him, he heard Mackenzie say, "I'm going to crash the car." Christopher, you saw him in the documentary, proved that he further added that he observed Mackenzie Shirilla strike Dominic Russo as he got out of her car. The incident was reported by Dom's mom. Dom's brother states that their relationship was toxic. Mackenzie was living with Dominic at his house. He was financially supporting Mackenzie's lifestyle. That part pisses me off. It really does. And I think it's so, again, trashy. Steve Shirilla, why would you say that on the Netflix documentary? When he says, "Oh, Dom wasn't hurting, the boy wasn't hurting for money." And Kenzie liked that. Okay, Steve, so you didn't provide for your daughter, so her boyfriend had to. Her boyfriend that she was verbally and mentally abusing for years. It's like, how dare you say that on the Netflix movie? Here's those pictures again that we saw earlier. Nothing mechanically wrong with the Toyota. Nothing medically wrong with Kenzie. Not OVI, operating a vehicle under the influence. Intentional act. Multiple breakups in July of 2022. Per the Russo family, the relationship with Mackenzie and Dom was deteriorating. Deanna, the mother of Mackenzie's ex-boyfriend, provided information about previous threats. We're going to listen to those calls as well. I have them. I realize I might have missed on posting some of the police calls, so I'll probably post them after the live, but we're going to go through them here. The incident on July 17th, 2022. So a week before 2 weeks before the crash, Kenzie had threatened him in the car, and she tried to pin it on Dom, saying that it was Dom who was making her or leading her to crash the car. At the very least, the parole board and DOJ see her for who she is and keep her where she belongs. Her prison phone calls, in my opinion, show an extremely unwell individual. Yeah. Yeah, I know. When I was going through all of this last night, I'm like, there's some stuff we need to relook at for sure. Look at this car. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in my life. Other than like in movies, of course. And I mean relating to like the car. Look at the rim. Brutal. Brutal. Okay. So those two presentations were shown in the courtroom. Now let's listen to some calls before we get into the next batch of documents. And I need to show you guys. Okay, let's go. The first call we're going to play is with her mom calling the investigators. I wanted to kind of review those again. The first one is here we go. Mackenzie Shirilla and her mom playing the victim. So this is after the crash. Natalie Shirless calling detectives, telling them, "Oh, help us. Kenzie's being bullied." And I'm like, really? Tell her to take it. And this is on my videos tab too, if you guys want to go.
Strongsville Police Detective Mizzou.
Hey, it's Natalie Shirilla. How
Hi.
are you? Hey.
Good, how are you?
Can you help us? She's not on social media, but there are one person in particular who's personally reaching out to her saying terrible, horrible things. It's basically harassment. Is there anything you can do to help us stop her?
Who's the person?
It's Morgan Verbicki. She's saying terrible. We screenshotted things.
Well, I can't do anything about that, to be honest with you. The only thing I can tell you is she needs to stay off her phone.
Well, that's how she's talking to her friends and messages.
I understand.
But sometimes people make a visit to their house saying, stop, knock it off. We know what you're doing, and this is it's cyberbullying.
Well, at this point, the only thing I can tell you is the best thing she can do is stay off social media. People are talking. People have not stopped. People are not going to stop. At this point, you have a lot of people talking, and unless they say we're going to come kill you or something of that sort, there's very little in terms of what can be done. We will kind of put another Facebook, if you want, like a public on the Strongsville Police page saying to knock it off with the...
No, don't do that, because that'll just draw more attention.
Okay. Well,
I just didn't know if you guys could... In the past, sometimes they have done that.
Well, not in this case. At this point, like I said, I'm here today on my day off working on the case because there's just so much. We're getting so much from people, calls and they're sharing things with us, and we have to vet through everything.
I see.
So the only thing I can tell you is I know she made her social media private, which is very smart. She needs to stay off social media, period.
Right.
Take this as a piece of advice.
Really? That's crazy that the detective was telling her this, because we know Kenzie cannot stay off social media, not even while she was in the accident, in the crash, in the hospital, my bad. When they're texting about the modeling.
It's not on social media.
Right. She just needs to, what's Morgan's phone number?
I don't even, do you have Morgan's phone number? No, they're not even. So
she's not, is Morgan talking directly to Mackenzie, or is just Morgan posting things?
Well, she's private on things, and I think, hold on. Everything's taken down and everything's private, but I think Morgan is on there.
On where?
Oh, she doesn't follow Kenzie. She's just going to her requests and dropping them in there and then unsending them and sending. I don't know how she's backdooring it.
Well, hold on a second. If Kenzie's not on social media and she doesn't have her phone number, how is Morgan even contacting her? Where? On what platform?
That's what I mean. So if Mackenzie's private,
it doesn't matter. Does she still have an open social media account? Is she still
Instagram open? It's just private. Private. Yeah.
No, so she's still going to be able to contact her.
Right.
Right. Okay. What's Morgan's last name? I can try to call her.
Thank you.
Do you have a number? I can't promise you anything.
I know. I understand.
Morgan Verbicki.
V. V-E-R. Verbicki.
Verbicki. Okay. Do you know where she lives?
Do you know where she lives? Do you know about where she lives?
I can't believe the person who bullied everyone is asking the detective to have people stop bullying her. It's ironic.
In Hunting Meadows, by Yelly.
Around Hunting Meadows.
Okay. Like I said, how is Mackenzie feeling these days? Is she better?
God. Excruciating pain. She just had her surgery on her arm, and it's terrible.
Did they tell you how many broken bones she has?
She broke her C1
vertebrae. A vertebrae?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
I know. Her humerus, right by the elbow. 8, 9, and 10 ribs.
Wow.
Her femur. And she lacerated her kidney, and her liver and her left knee down to the joint.
Wow.
I know.
Okay, so here's Natalie complaining about, oh, she has broken bones. Okay, well, like, they're dead. Like, what? And Kenzie's still here. They're not. Like,
well, I hope she, she could just focus on healing and getting better. At this point, I know she deleted some things, but there are a lot of people out there who,
and we don't care because she knows, she doesn't mind. It's just this, Morgan is really, really being evil.
No, well, like I said, I'll attempt to, again, she doesn't have a phone number for her. I don't have a police Instagram. So it's going to be hard,
name, right?
Yeah, I wrote that. I'm going to try to track her down and just be like, listen, knock it off at this point.
Right. It's very evil.
That's, I will do that for you guys. Also, did you guys retain a lawyer yet?
Yes, we did. We're going to talk with them.
What's the lawyer's name? Do you know?
Oh gosh, my husband has all that.
Okay.
Do you want me to have him call you with all that information?
Again, no big deal. Just have the lawyer call me. I gave you my card. Just give my contact info to the lawyer. Tell him, the detective asked that, you kind of make yourself known at this point.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, now that Kenzie's able to talk, I don't want to go by what her friends are saying.
No,
I really don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And I told her that too. I said, listen, they know.
We know, yeah. I pretty much was able to put together the last 12 hours before the crash. So I know where she was, who she was with, everything. So at this point, I just want to know from her, what happened.
Yeah.
We do have some pictures. If she wants to see them, it's up to her. Like I said, I want to work with her. I'm not trying to, to make things more difficult. I know she doesn't like police. I get it. But at this point, she needs to get over that.
Right.
I like how they were keeping it close to their chest about the investigation because she can get arrested for 3 months. So unless they had a feeling that Kenzie was probably living her life like she was never going to be arrested. Which is why she was probably at the Halloween party. She's like, oh, they haven't arrested me yet. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to keep on living my life.
So, I hope she feels better. You guys take care of her. Like I said, we're going to get through this together, all of us.
Amen. Yep.
But it's very important that the lawyer contacts me because at this point, I don't want to talk to her without her lawyer.
Absolutely.
And her lawyer might not want her to talk to me either.
No,
that's her constitutional
we're
right.
Just trying to knit the local.
Right.
Evil.
So I cannot police people from talking. People have a First Amendment right. They can talk. They can voice their opinions. That's public discourse. But what I'm going to do is try to reduce their threats. So if they're like, I know where you live and I'm going to come to your house, I'm going to punch her in the throat, those are the kinds of things we will have our officers handle. But somebody saying, you're evil, you killed, that's opinion. That's not going to, rise to the level where we're charging somebody with harassment or menacing until there's that threat of harm to Mackenzie, to you guys, or to your property.
Okay.
Okay. But I'm going to try to get a hold of Morgan just as a courtesy on good faith to show you guys, and we'll hopefully put an end to it.
Thank you. That makes me just want to cry. So thank you. That's all.
Not a problem.
That's all I'm asking.
Listen, at the end of the day, this is very sad for everybody involved, and especially for Kenzie. She has to live the rest of her life with this.
Yes.
Whether she understands the seriousness of it or not, it can't be easy. So I hope you guys all, pull through together and everything goes well. Like I said, at this point, just please make sure whoever your lawyer is gives me a call next week. This is very important. If not, just, give me their contact info and somehow we'll get in contact with the lawyer.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, when you go, she has a friend named Jana. Jana's not saying as bad, but if you could just throw Jana's name into that, if you listen when you.
Natalie, no one gives a shit who's bullying her. Like, she bullied a ton of people at school. She was horrible to a lot of people. And the fact that Natalie is just calling the detective, oh, they're harassing her. Well, she shouldn't have just drove her car into a brick building at 100 miles per hour. That part pisses me off here with Natalie Shirilla. Oh, she's innocent. Oh, she doesn't deserve to be bullied.
It's those two. They're being very cruel.
Okay, what exactly are they saying? Does she have a screenshot of what they're saying?
She does have screenshots. Yeah.
Okay. What are they saying? Exactly. So when I call, I'm not, they call my bluff. I want to be able to say, you said, da, 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 da.
Do you have Morgan's? Hold on a second.
No, this is more important.
So I have the one screenshot. I have what Jana said. Kenzie, do you have what Morgan said?
I have what Morgan said, but not like well, this is the first thing she said to me. And she said, I never knew you would actually be the end of Dom. And then she texted me later that night and said, I know you did it on purpose. And then she unsent it before I could get a screenshot of it. I put that card there just so you know. Thank you.
Okay. Natalie?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you have my email? I gave you my card. My email's on there. Can you email me those screenshots? Because before I go talk to these girls or to their parents, I want to know what's in there. So when I talk to them, I can say, you said 1, 2, 3, 4. So they don't call my bluff, and now I have nothing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and then the one, so Jana is saying stuff like, Mackenzie never told anybody, whatever. It's just, it's mean and it's cruel and it's not.
I got you.
I appreciate you.
The sooner you can email those to me, the sooner I can try to track them.
It's on your card, right?
Yeah, it's on my card. And if she has phone numbers, that would be helpful. If not, I will figure something out to try to get a hold of them.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you. Yeah.
All righty.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. You too. Bye.
This is call number 2. This one's 3 minutes.
Hello?
Hi, is this Natalie?
Speaking.
This is Detective Jesus, Strongsville Police, returning your voicemail.
Hey.
Hey, I was out for last week due to training, so I just got your voicemail.
Okay.
Okay, so typically this is not something I handle. Threats like this, if it's non-emergency, you'd have to contact our patrol division, and a police officer would come out and handle it. And if it is an emergency, like if there's somebody outside your house, call 911. But as a courtesy, I will give Tyler a call just to kind of poke into it. But generally, our patrol division handles those.
Okay.
Okay.
Nothing has come up yet. We're obviously very nervous and worried still because there's been a couple of people who've made evil, hateful threats. And it may have been off the cuff because, emotions are awful high and terrible and stuff, but I appreciate your call.
No, of course. Like I said, I'm sorry I didn't call earlier, but if those rise, so there's a lot of rumors, right? I think we've both established that. And a lot of them are not credible, but we do want to address them. So like I said, if you see, especially if it's on social media, something posted, not just, hey, I heard from so-and-so who heard from so-and-so. If it's something credible, please call our patrol division. We'll send an officer, and that officer will follow up and generate whatever necessary reports. And ultimately, if it needs to come up to our detective bureau, then we'll look into it. But in the meantime, if you see somebody outside your house or, you feel like somebody's in the area, call 911. Like this rises to the level of exigency. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Is Mackenzie doing okay? Is she out of the hospital?
She's right here next to me.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Well, hey, hopefully she can put this behind her and move on.
I can't.
Okay.
Sorry. We cry every day, all day, probably for the rest of our lives. So
we cry every day, all day, probably for the rest of our lives. No tears on Netflix. It was a fake crying. I've seen it numerous times. It's ridiculous.
But thank you. I appreciate your help.
Not a problem. Like I said, if you need anything, don't hesitate.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Of course. Bye-bye.
Are you going to put a call into him out of courtesy?
Yeah, I'm going to call him. I'm just going to, and like I said, I called him before and he was not cooperative. So I don't know if he's going to answer. So like I said, if you have something like, if there's a screenshot of him making a threat, that's different. I can send a cop to his house right now.
Okay.
But if it's just rumors, I will call and see if I can talk to him.
Memorials to my friends, Rosie and Bubba, that like he's gonna get Dom. Like
Exactly. ATS says they don't cry on prison calls either. She only cries when she finds out that the judge told her she was a murderer.
karma for Dom. Like I did this on fucking purpose.
Well,
He's gonna hurt me, and he has plans for me when I get out and stuff. And he told my one of my best friends that.
can you get Rosie or Bubba to get me that information? I can follow up on it, but like I said, neither of them is available. I think Rosie went to OU, so if they can send me those information directly, I can do something about it. But we can't go down every rumor, rabbit hole, because there's way too many. But if we have a level of we can substantiate those allegations, then absolutely we will more than happily follow up on it.
Okay.
So reach out to Rosie and Bubba, and if they want to talk to me, we can probably address those issues with Tyler in a more formal setting than a courtesy phone call.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your help.
Not a problem.
I do have that call. We have listened to it numerous times, the one in the movie where she's threatening to break into his house. We're not going to go over that one today, but I did want to go over the one of her and her dad in the hospital. I thought I had posted this, but it might have been in another live. I don't remember until Abuelita reminded me about it. There is a call. I'm trying to look in the playlist and see if I had posted this already. I think I did. We've done a lot of 𝗠𝗲𝗃 coverage, so it would take me years to go through all of the lives. The next call is her and her dad. There's a disturbance call from the hospital on August 6th. And I'm thinking, when Abuelita reminded me about it, I'm thinking, wait, what is going on? What went on that day? I was thinking maybe it could have something to do with like Kenzie being like bullied again. But when I re-listened to it over and over again, and in the call, it says that Kenzie was being combative in the hospital. And this is after the crash, and I'm wondering what happened between her and Steve Shirilla. Let me pull up. This one is 5 minutes, and then we'll read a couple of the police reports.
Hello.
Hi, is this Sergeant Doyle?
Yes. How are you?
Good. This is Detective Jesus, Strongsville Police. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, as I said, I talked to a couple of your officers today. When this happened to me, I'm sorry, I'm congested from a cold. So.
Oh, no worries, Sergeant.
Yeah, like I don't mind like writing something, but I don't know how good it.
So for you guys to not get confused, she was in the hospital at this time of the call, and there was a call made to the police about a disturbance with Kenzie and her dad. And something must have happened. Abuelita says that her dad slipped. We don't actually know. I'm going to try to get the full report on it this week, but maybe she was just unwell while being in the hospital, like mentally. But in the police reports that we're going to go through, there's a history of Mackenzie making claims that she did want to unalive herself. So there is that.
Could be since there was only like a very, very brief interaction with him. So,
well, this is was this pertaining to to that call you guys were sent to August 6th, where she was combative?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the same one. Because I was gonna say I know someone reached out to you guys about that.
Right. And is there? I'm not trying to question your guys' procedures, but is there a reason why no report was generated?
Well, we don't really unless it's a hands-on or something like that, or like a big disturbance. We don't generate reports for that kind of stuff. It's just
gotcha. Okay. Well. at this point, this is a homicide investigation, and so what Shirilla's dad said to you is material. I consulted with the prosecutor, and it's extremely important because we are trying to show that she intentionally drove the car into the wall. And if her dad made those statements, that's critical.
Yeah. Well, like I'll be honest with you. I remember him saying like she needs a 𝗍𝗶𝗹𝗆𝗆, but like I don't remember like how he said it, why he said it. Like I remember the word 𝗍𝗶𝗹𝗆𝗆 in there.
Okay. So what you told the officers this morning was that he kind of alluded to or stated that she wanted to take her life and drove the car into the building.
No, like that's not like how I like worded it this morning. He just said like like he's like my daughter like was in a serious accident or something along those lines, and he was mad that like the staff wasn't like helping him out. So like like he's like they need to do a 𝗍𝗶𝗹𝗆𝗆 because like she wanted to leave. That's why like we were up there because she was screaming and yelling.
Okay. And do you guys not wear body cameras?
No, we do not.
Okay. Well, Sarge, listen, I know this is a pain in the ass for you, but I'm going to need a statement from you. You can reply to the email that I sent, and you got to be detailed because the prosecutor is going to look at it. Like I said, this is a homicide investigation.
No, I totally understand.
So, I know the CAD number, your guys' CAD number is 31787. But, whatever the dad told you, describe how his demeanor was, and, if the prosecutor looks at it and has more questions, I'll have the prosecutor call you directly.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, I was going to say, that was like back in what, August
6th, yeah, August 6th.
Yeah, I was going to say, like our policy is, like, unless it's a real big disturbance or, like, as long as it's, like, not a hands-on or anything, it's just a CAD call, like, for PCC.
Yeah, I mean, that's your procedure. If the prosecutor has an issue with it, then, he'll ask you about it, and you just testify to your procedure. But like I said, the details of that encounter are very critical, especially at this point in the investigation, because everything is lining up to show this was not just an accident, was not a random act. So,
and this calls in August, so she didn't get arrested until November. So they were absolutely investigating her right after the crash.
I don't I barely talked to her at all, because we stepped out and talked to the dad, and then I'll have to look to see who came up there with me.
The badge numbers are 3 and 77. Which one are you?
3.
You're 3. Okay.
Yeah.
So number 77 was with you. He was actually, looks like you guys both got there at the same time. You were there for about 20 minutes, according to your CAD call. But no big deal, Sarge. Like I said, write as much as you can, be as detailed and descriptive as you can. Describe the dad, his demeanor, the circumstances. I mean, like I said, this is going into a homicide investigation. So I'll just give it to the prosecutor, and we'll see. We'll take it from there.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll talk to 77 Officer Tuccione tonight too.
Okay, yeah, and if he had heard anything else, just have him separately send me an email too, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, Sarge. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
My thing is like with this, was she in the hospital freaking out because her dad wouldn't let her go and she was trying to get out, and maybe she had like a bit of a moment in the hospital, a mental health moment? Or were they fighting about what story to tell and the real truth? They can act like they were really close, the Shirilla family, but it proves otherwise in the text messages. And Kenzie was never home. Like the document said, Dom was supporting her in all aspects of her life. I think in some sick way, mom especially basks in the social media attention. So I'm gonna try to get more information on that event because her behavior makes me think she was not in enough pain. She wanted to leave to attend the funeral. So what? You beat up your dad or push him down or cuss him out, throw something across the room, and the nurses call the police? Like, I don't understand why you know what I mean? Like, why would the police get involved? If she wanted to go to the funeral. Is that a reason for police to get involved? She couldn't even get up. So, like, how was she gonna push her dad and try to make it to the door? She was in a wheelchair, she had had surgery. This is only 5 days after, like you heard in the report and in the movie. Her dad said she had a broken arm, broken leg, broken this, carotid artery, both legs in casts, neck. She isn't well enough to leave. Yeah, so she isn't well enough to try to take down her dad in the hospital, I don't think. I think this call was about something else, and maybe they were arguing or something. Yeah, lacerated liver and kidney too. 5 days after, so it's not even like she was already healing, you know? I don't know, I have a feeling about that. Let's go over a few more documents. This was already shown in the grand jury PowerPoint, but I wanted you guys to see it again here. Blood, a vial taken from Shirilla on August 9th and August 12th. And then right here, it just shows she had Delta, which is weed in her system. Nothing else. The funeral wouldn't have been that soon either. No, it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I'm trying to remember when his sister said the funeral was. I'll have to get that date. That would be interesting. But here you have it, the laboratory result from Forensic Science Library on October 6, 2022. So that shows there was just weed in her system. No shroomies. So case into, yeah, it did, or it was going to. The next report I have is I don't think we need to go over this. We know what weed is. This is just explaining like the side effects of it. Okay, we did look at this one, but we'll show it again. This one is for the mushrooms. 6.91 grams. And that one is August 26, 2022. I would not doubt the parents are going to release their own documentary in response to the Netflix buzz. It's all about the Benjamins and social media for the mother. Yeah, that's why I asked sister that. I'm like, do you think they're going to start, putting themselves out there again? Let's see. Do I want to read this one? Yeah, let's go through this. This document is Court of Common Pleas, Criminal Division, search warrant. Yeah, they're asking for all her lab work here, all her stuff. Effie and Stacy stayed at Ohio State Highway Patrol. All records and blood samples starting from July 31st, female Mackenzie. The facts upon which affiant bases. Okay, affiant infers that on July 31st at approximately 6:15 a.m., a call was made. Strongsville police and fire were present. 3 persons located. 17-year-old Mackenzie, she was wearing a seatbelt and was determined to be alive. She was then transported to Metro Health Medical Center in Cleveland via life flight. August 8th with his funeral. Interesting. Affiant infers that during the flight to Metro Health, medical staff withdrew blood sample. Dominic was the person in the car, as well as Davion Flanagan. Toyota Camry was confirmed to be Mackenzie's mother's car. Affiant infers that the preliminary investigation indicated the vehicle operated by Mackenzie Ford Shirilla was involved in a single motor vehicle crash, crashing into the 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆 sign-in building on the southeast. Okay. Was inside the ambulance. Medics located a clear plastic bag containing a substance that resembled mushrooms. The nature of the motor vehicle crash and the sustained injuries to Shirilla, field sobriety tests could not be conducted. Affiant avers that the vehicle was towed. Okay, based on the experience, it's necessary to acquire blood samples. Affiant has reason to believe and does believe that the Metro Health and the city of Clinton, further described as healthcare professional. Okay, we already know that they're a facility. So there's a search warrant. Metro Health blood work. Vial of Mackenzie's blood from the life flight. So that was to retrieve the blood that they took when she was in the ambulance. So I thought that would just be interesting to review really quickly. Did anybody notice how... No, I didn't, hot mess. It's lies. Prepare yourself, brace yourself. If you're mad now, you're going to be livid. Hi, Jenna Gypsy. Good to see you. She knew what she was doing. I work in the medical field, and if family members have an altercation, it's hospital policy to call the police if it's more serious than security can handle. In my opinion, this makes her look worse. She was totally sober at the time of the accident. Exactly. Maybe there was a vigil memorial. I know there was a couple things that... Don't come in here trolling. I know I've had a massive amount of trolls. I know all you Kenzie trolls. You about to get blocked. It's a thing, man. It's a thing. It really is. That Netflix really started up some shit. Because we've been covering this for like a year. Well, 2, but in depth. Do I want to get into these reports right now? Let's see. I have some really good reports about her past involving police, but I don't want to get into them if I can't finish them all today. Let me see if I have another video that I wanted to show you guys in this live. If not, we'll read some of them. They're not very long. They're 1-pagers. Okay, yeah, we went through both of the calls with her, all the calls with the mom. Okay, let's get into this. I have this sketch that the police officer did of the bodies. Thought we could look at that real quickly as well. So this is what the police officer drew that day. On this day, I made this sketch of the Toyota Camry front of vehicle. Right here, Dom's seatbelt. This is why I wanted to go over this, because it gives us a little more clarity on that. So here's Kenzie. The cop drew this. Front passenger seatbelt was broken upon arrival. Broken like from the crash, or broken from what? Arm outside of back window. And here's Davion in the middle. This right here makes me think that Davion was sitting behind Kenzie, lean forward to stop something going on here. The seatbelt broken is concerning. That is also new. I know. It's like, as we review the older stuff, now that the movie's out, we're seeing it with a fresh lens. And then the fact that his arm was outside the window is terrible. I wonder what was happening in this car. I really wish, like, that's why I think Dom or Davion, and this is how they like somewhat ended up on top of each other. Oh, front passenger seat was broken upon arrival. Oh, not the seatbelt. The seat? What does that mean, like, broken? The seat was broken. Arm outside of back window, passenger side. Rear of vehicle. Interesting. Arm outside of the back window. Was Dom trying to open the back door behind him? Front passenger seat was broken upon arrival. There was barely anything left of the car. Top of the seat was laying back. So was that done by like them prior to the crash or from the crash is a good question. I read the gear was manually shifted. Yeah, we did already cover that. It was shifted neutral, drive and neutral. Yes, we do think there was a struggle from the impact. The force of the impact set everyone and everything flying. I mean, I'm not. Yes, beautifully broken. I've seen lots of violent crashes in my life. You guys are trying to read into the positions for stuff you will never know or be able to tell. That's also true, expert. I know. That's very, very sad. From the impact, the seat came unbolted. Why is his arm outside of the back window? Was he trying to jump out? That's what I was thinking. No, it's true. We won't ever know because Kenzie clearly is not going to tell the truth. And none of the other people involved in this crash are here to speak up. A couple of Shirillas have claimed Dom has stepped onto Mackenzie's foot to cause the crash. Obviously, that is impossible because they were desperate to discredit. Yeah, if that was the case, Dom would have been found over here or one of his legs or something. If he was leaned over to push on the gas pedal, Dom would have been found over here, I think. How did Kenzie end up underneath the steering wheel? If anything, I thought like maybe the people in her or Dom would have like flown out, but the impact was in the front. Airbag. Oh, yeah. He would have gone through the windshield. She probably ducked down. I bet she was trying to brace herself. Did Dom's family think she did it intentionally from the beginning? No. Dom's family didn't accuse or think that it was Mackenzie involved. They were actually supporting Mackenzie until the day of her arrest. So they were thinking, poor Mackenzie, she lost her boyfriend. We lost Dom. And when they found out or got hint of what was going on at the investigation, that's when they stopped. You know, they knew what had happened. Half knew. His mom knew. Strange things happen upon impact, and that was a massive impact. There's so many things we'll never know. From the looks of the car, they most likely died on impact. Yes. I believe I think the officer said that they died at impact, but I thought one of them was still alive or barely, which is terrifying. My heart breaks for the families. It really does. This is terrible. Let me see. Okay, so we went over that. Let's go over, I have so many reports. Let's read this, the crash reconstruction. Wait, what is this? Hold on, let me make sure I want to show this. This is different. Okay, this is a different case, my bad. Let's go over the supplemental reports. I'm going to go over just a few because there's a lot, and we'll do the rest on the live tomorrow. Sorry, I had to pull them up. There's so many I have so many folders and files. It's like I need to. And the way they send everything is just aggravated murder. I used maps to outline the likely direct route from Paul's house. This is most likely the direct route that Mackenzie would have traveled on Whitney Road. Yeah, see, like for her to be going 100 miles per hour is wild. So they started here. Yeah, it is. It does look like it's a very curvy road, like Christine said, Dom's sister. At the request of Troop, February 3rd, I used Google Maps to outline. Okay, this is the second suspected. This is the actual route Mackenzie took instead. After traveling westbound on Whitney, turn left on Pearl. Mackenzie turned right, traveling westbound on Progress Drive. Had the crash not occurred, she would have likely turned left, going southbound on Alameda Drive, followed by a right turn going westbound on Westwood Drive. So this is the actual route she took. Yeah, like this is intense. Look at the sharp. How does someone go 100 miles per hour almost on the sharp turn right here? And the car didn't like flip. She wasn't passed out. That's what that proves, in my opinion. She wasn't passed out. She was steering correctly to make, like Christine said, it was a curvy road. If she had a blackout incident, she wouldn't have been able to do all of this passed out, blacked out, whatever they want to call it. Do you see what I'm saying? Or am I nuts? I'm glad she lives so she can stay in prison. At the rate she's conducting herself in prison, she will be 60 if she gets out. I hope she doesn't. If she would have said I was on shrooms and snap pissed me out, I think she would have been charged with murder, but her lies made her more guilty. If it was a medical emergency or accident, she would be talking so highly of Dom not tearing him down. She would say how much she misses him and all the things she loved about him. No, the seatbelt wasn't broke. It was the seat. My bad. But that leads me to my next theory is did they take off their seatbelts or was it from the impact? Did they take off their seatbelts in attempts to try to jump out and stop the car, you know? Really weird. I just heard something. And yet again, Kenzie kept texting poor Dom's mom. I know. Davion had a faint pulse. Yeah, I think I kind of remember that. She was 18 pounds, so nothing. So the force of impact folded her in two. I'm surprised, like, she survived being 80 pounds and tiny like that. I don't care if what I did, she did on purpose or accident. I'd be begging for forgiveness every day. I don't even know if I could live with that, to be honest. I mean, for crying out loud, imagine how we feel about our pets, you know, and that's not even intentional. They just live their lives and get sick and whatnot, you know? Like, can you imagine humans? No. Let's look at this one. This is still from this is like the reconstruction report. Wednesday, February. Email me the reconstruction report that was delivered to him by Trooper E. Okay. Under the surveillance cameras, Trooper Rawson conducted detailed video analysis. We've seen that video of the crash. Based on his calculations, he determined the average speed across Parma movers was 97.83. The Toyota speed range 97.83 and 100 miles per hour in approximately 4.75 seconds. So this even proves here she was accelerating up to 100, or else that would go down if she was blacked out from pots. Approximately 4.57 seconds, which was suggested to be hard steering prior. The event behind TRG5 was suspected to have occurred when the Toyota departed the northern side of Progress, entering the intersection. Accelerator pedals displayed 100% and no brake. The driver demanded more power and speed. At Parma Movers, which is approximately 0.21 miles from the final rest, the vehicle averaged 97.18. The Toyota averaged approximately 80.51 miles per hour in the final second leading up to the collision as it traveled off the roadway, struck a commercial sign on the eastern side of the building. There's a lot here. There's a lot here to take in. I think from the chart, I gather that the shift into neutral slowed them, to I think 94 or 93. Kenzie's as dumb as a box of rocks. Yes, some people don't have stomach aches because they're avoiding eating because they don't have what they want. I know how I feel. Yeah, I know. I can't imagine when I got rear-ended, I'm like, that noise alone, and my forehead like kind of split open and I have a scar. But even that alone, I'm like traumatized. Just the sound and the feeling, I can't. I can't. I don't know why these are dated. Oh, these are what Miss Russo brought into the. Let's go over this one real quick. This is the recordings. Remember the fight where Kenzie tries to break into his house? On February 26th, Miss Russo arrived at Strongsville Police Department to turn over 3 recordings entered as evidence. The first one was which one is the one we have? Let me look at how long that one is. Oh, the one I have is 10 minutes. So 2.23, Dominic Russo was inside his house. Mackenzie was presumably outside to be let inside. She threatens to key Dom's car. We've seen this. Mackenzie can be heard counting down. There's another a recording. Mackenzie's demanding Dom to open the door. Oh, it's the same one. I think it was just different videos. She threatens to break the door. Mackenzie claims that Dominic's house is her house. Recording number 3, black screen, no audio. It sounds like Dominic allowed Mackenzie in the house to retrieve her items. So do you see what I'm saying? Like they were fighting. She had gotten her shit out of his house. Okay, we can listen to this call right after we read this report, but let's read this. On Monday, okay, so recording number 1. Kenzie says, like, before you lied and you said you would never lock me out of the house again. This is why we got back together. The last time we broke up, but I forgot you never keep your word. Dom says, Mackenzie, you broke up with me earlier. Shirilla says, because you're a little effing weak bee. Dom says, you broke up with me earlier. Yeah, this is a call from outside. So this is your last chance. He says, you broke up with me earlier. Kenzie says, this is your last chance to open the door or you're not coming out of the house all night because I will not leave. Dom says, you literally broke up with me earlier. Like, what is the point of you trying to break in? You broke up with me like earlier. Kenzie says, no, I didn't. Dom says, yes, you did. You said we were not together. You literally said that shit. Like, you literally broke up with me earlier. Like, what are you trying to make? Like, why should I let you in my house if you break up with me and you threatening to break my shit? This is when she starts counting down. 1, 2. You're threatening to key my car, threatening to break the doors down. She says, I will key your car if you do not let me in the house. We're going to listen. Sorry, I had to take a drink of my water. Okay, it says, I don't know if this is the same one or not, or if this is a different one from the video. She says 1, 2, because she used to count down to him like a child throughout the text messages too. Dom says, you're threatening to key my car, threatening to break the doors down. Kenzie says, I will key your car if you do not let me in the house. Dom says, you're going to key my car if I don't let you in the house. Kenzie says, if you don't let me in the house, yes. Dom says, WTF. Kenzie says, yeah, I know. Just let me in the house. Dom says, no, like, why? Why can't you just be like calm for at least a second and I can feel comfortable letting you in the house? Kenzie says, I am calm. I don't think you get to decide that with your fucking weird ass trauma problems. If this isn't the most verbal and mental abuse, like, this is absolutely nuts. Dom says, you're literally threatening to effing key my car and shit. What else are you threatening? See, Dom was documenting. And I think that's why Kenzie wanted to go in the house. I think she wanted to get the money, the drugs, and I think she wanted to get Dom's second phone because Dom had these recordings on there. Dom says, you're literally threatening. Oh, Kenzie says, Dom, I'm going to give you one last chance to open the door and I'm going to leave and do what I said I was going to do. Dom says, what are you going to do? She says, I'm going to give you one last chance. Dom says, Kenzie, look, let me go to bed. Kenzie says, no, 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 no. Dom says, you can, and I can let you come over later. Kenzie says, no, you're not, because I'm coming to dinner too. I'm coming to dinner too. Dom says, well, why? Well, you should have told me you wanted to come. Kenzie says, you effing R word. I don't like that word. I don't say R-E-T-A-R-D. She already put me on the reservation. So effing open the door, you dumbass. Like, open the door. Dom says, oh, all right, let's just go next door then. Kenzie says, no, we're not going next door. So he was like, just go walk over to my mom's house and I'll meet you there. And Kenzie's like, no, let me in here because I want to fight and verbally and mentally abuse you and not have anyone see. Total typical abuser behavior, if you ask me. I'm not a psychologist, but I've definitely seen a few in my lifetime. And I know a lot of them, having worked in the medical field too. Kenzie says, no, we're not going next door. Dom says, no, I'm not letting you in the house. Kenzie says, we need to talk first because you just betrayed me. Dom says, all right, we can talk outside. Good, I'm coming out. Don't try to come in. Kenzie says 5, 4, and the video ends. This recording number 2 is the one with the call. I think begins with Russo walking through his home. Kenzie says, Dom, if you don't open, like, you think I'm joking? Do you think I'm joking? Do you think I'm joking? Like, I'm dead ass. Dom says, what? What are you dead ass about? Kenzie says, okay, I'm going to give you one last chance to open the door. Dom says, Kenzie, I can't open the door. I can't sit here and fight. We got to go to dinner. Yeah, this is the one that we watch a lot. Kenzie says, you're not going to dinner if you don't open the door. I'm going to let you know that right now. Dom says, and then what? What would happen? What are you trying to say? Kenzie says, I'm telling you, I already told you what happens. You're not coming. You're not going to dinner. Dom says, what do you mean? Kenzie says, you know exactly what I mean. You don't need to know exactly what I mean. You're going to come open this door right now or there's going to be a serious problem. We should listen to this. Dom says, no, I can't. You can't keep threatening. You can't keep making all these threats. I can't open the door. Kenzie says, and you can't kick me out of the place you say is my home. Dom says, Kenzie, I didn't kick you out. You took all your shit and dipped. You said you were done. Like, Kenzie says, I did not say we were done, Dom. Okay, ready? I'm going to count to 10. Open the doors. Okay, you're going to open the door and stop hiding behind the door like a little effing bee. Let's listen to this. I think it's so much more telling when we listen to it rather than me reading. But wait, we'll listen to this one. Recording 3. This is one I don't think video number 3 begins with Russo still in his home and presumably on a new phone call with Shirilla. Kenzie says 2. Dom says, I'm coming. Background conversation sounds like Dominic is communicating with Mackenzie through the door. Dom says no. Dom says, I'm going to go out the front door then. Then there's background noise, sounds of banging as if the door is being hit or kicked. No audio from 102 to 10:55 when a door can be heard being shut. And Dom and Kenzie are back in the house. Kenzie says, you're such a joke. You are such a joke. You're getting an L. You are an L, and I lied. Dom says, because you can't stop. Kenzie says, I lied. Dom says, what? What did you lie about? Do you have your phone charger? Kenzie says, yeah, and the rest, they couldn't tell what it was. Video 3 ends as Kenzie is speaking. At approximately February 27th, 16:22 hours, Mr. Mr. William arrived at the Strongsville police station, accompanied by Dom's mom. I requested to speak with Mr. Ellis in person to obtain his statement. Mr. Ellis explained that upon being released from jail, he took possession of his cell phone after 1 or 2 days. He was going through the photo gallery on his cell phone. He noticed the aforementioned recordings. He immediately shared them with Ms. Russo. Detective Glover photographed the metadata from the property section of each recording. So there's the pictures that it was on Dom's phone. Wow. Wow. We've gone over this case so much and doesn't seem to get me every time. They were talking about marriage. Wow. Yeah. But Dom didn't want to be with her anymore. She ruined it. The recording was a phone that belonged to Dom. Yeah, we're going to listen to it. They took it after his mom, after she took it to the police. Yes, that's correct, I think. I can't believe a 17-year-old was living with him. Her parents are shitbags. Yeah, in the documentary, they said, oh, she was mature enough for that. And she didn't need discipline. And I'm thinking, like, what are you on? Like, what are you not seeing? What do you mean she doesn't need discipline? 17? Since when is 17? Like, I don't know. I guess maybe. I mean, my sister had a baby very young. But it wasn't like this. You know what I mean? She has to be programmed to input all that info and get visual reconstruction. There has to be a program. Oh, what is scary about this? She seemed more concerned about her bracelet and jewelry when arrested. It's a disturbing video. I have never seen a more heartless monster. I wonder if she ever feels bad in private. Doesn't seem like it. I mean, it seems with her hair up and her new accent and like all of that, it seems like she's having a grand old time in prison. Let's listen to this call and then we're gonna go from there.
Before you lied. You lied. And
this is the one we were just going through in that report.
You would never lock me out of the house again. That is why we got back together last time we broke up. But I forgot. You can never keep your word. Because you are a little fucking weak bitch.
You broke up with me earlier. You really broke up with me earlier.
This is your last chance to open the door, or you are not coming out of this house all night, because I will not leave.
You literally broke up with me earlier. Like what is the point you're trying to, like, you broke up with me, like, earlier. Like, what
I didn't. I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said we're not together. You really said that shit. Like, you really broke up with me earlier. Like, what are you trying to make? Like, why would I just let you in the house if you break up with me? You're threatening to break my shit. Like, you're threatening to key my car, threatening to break the doors.
I will key your car if you do not let me in the house.
You're gonna key my car if you
don't let me in the house, yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. So just let me in the house.
No, like, why can't you just be like calm at least for a second and I can feel comfortable?
I am calm. I am calm. I don't think you get to decide that with your fucking weird ass trauma problem.
You're really threatening to fucking key my car and shit. What else are you threatening?
Dom, I'm gonna give you one last chance to open the door. I'm gonna leave and do what I said I was gonna do.
What are you gonna do?
Wow.
I'm gonna give you one last chance.
Kenzie, look. Let me go to dinner.
No.
You can let me go to dinner, then I can let you come over later.
No, you're not. I'm coming to dinner too.
Why? You should have told me you wanted to come.
You fucking retard. She already put me on the reservation. So fucking open the door, you dumbass.
All right, here, let's just go next door then.
No, we're not going next door.
No, we're not letting you in the house.
We need to talk first, no? Because you just betrayed me.
All right, we can talk outside. Here, cut it out. Don't try to come in.
Five, 4, Dom, if you do not open, like, you think I'm joking. You think I'm joking. Like, I'm dead ass.
What? What are you dead ass about?
Okay, I'm gonna give you one last chance to open the door.
Kenzie, I can't open the door. I can't sit here and fight. We gotta go to dinner. If I can see my grandparents, like I can't.
You're not going to dinner if you don't open the door. I'm gonna let you know that right now.
And then what? What would happen? What are you trying to say?
I just told you what happened. You're not coming to dinner. You're not going to dinner.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You know that's exactly what I mean. You don't know exactly what I mean. You're gonna come open this door right now, or there's gonna be a serious fucking problem.
I can't. No, like you can't keep making all these threats. Like I can't open the door.
You can't keep kicking me out of a place that you say is my home.
Kenzie, I didn't kick you out. You took all your shit and dipped. And said we were done. Like,
I did not say we are done. Dom? Okay, ready? I'm going to count to 10. The door's going to open, okay? You're going to open the door and stop hiding behind the door like a little fucking bitch. Ready? 1.
Like, what is her problem? This is only a couple minutes long, guys.
2. 3.
Kenzie, I can't open the door.
4. Okay, I'm going to break something, man.
Why would you break something? Why? What are you trying to break?
Okay, open the door.
What are you trying to break?
Open the door.
No, I'm not opening the door.
Dom, I'm going to give you, if this phone call hits 5 minutes, we're breaking up.
Kenzie, I can't do this shit right now. You can't sit here and fight like.
Okay, well, you're not going to dinner.
Okay, well, step away from the door. Maybe I can come outside and talk for a second.
No, we're not fighting outside. You're going to open the door right now.
Why are we fighting outside?
You have 1 minute now, actually.
Look, wait, now my mom's trying to call me. Like, I got it.
No, if you hang up on me, we're done. I'm leaving.
Kenzie, there's nothing I could do. Like, I can't.
There is. Stop being a little bitch.
I can't let you in my house with how you're acting. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, there's no way. There's no way I should. Like,
I'm gonna break the handle off.
Huh?
I'm just gonna break the handle off. It's already moving.
I can break the lock. Like, you're really gonna break into my house?
Yes, I will. I will break into my house. You're right. I will break into it.
It's actually Miss Russo's house and Dom's. Like, it wasn't her house. Her diluted sense of entitlement has not even changed despite her incarceration. Yeah, she sounds like this in her calls too. Was she supposed to go to dinner with his family? I guess, but they were like on and off and having problems. So I don't think his family like wanted her to go or expected her to go, you know?
It's not your house. It's my house.
It is. Dom, now open the door. Now open the door. You have 30 seconds left on the phone call to open the door. We're done.
Mackenzie, I really don't think I can.
If you can't open the door, then you can't be in a relationship with me.
Mackenzie, you're threatening to break shit out. You're like, oh, I'm gonna break the glass and shit. Like, you're threatening crazy shit like that.
You have 10 seconds to open this door or we are broken up.
Mackenzie, I really don't think I can. Like, why can't we just
We're not
do this
doing
later?
it later because I'm coming to dinner. You have 5 seconds to open the door.
Would you want to come to dinner with us? You want to come to dinner with us? Is that what you're saying?
You can hear her banging on the door.
Right now.
You can come to dinner with us if you want.
Open the door.
Kenzie, if you want, you can come to dinner with us.
Dom, if you don't open the door, I'm keying your car.
Why the fuck would you key my... Why? Are you...
Okay, you have 30 seconds or I'm going to do it.
Kenzie, do not key my car.
You guys need to catch up on the text or tune into the reading. We'll probably be continue the readings tomorrow. This happens all the time. This wasn't new.
Do not do anything to my car.
Sad.
I need to call my mom back, babe.
All right, is the door unlocked? I'm about to test it.
No, Kenzie, it's not unlocked. Like, why are you acting like this?
Dom, I'm going to give you one last second or I'm going to have to key your car.
Why? Why would you
Key your car?
Why would that ever be like an option?
We're broken up if you don't let me in the house. I'm breaking up. I will break up with you. I'm going to break up with you if you do not open this fucking door.
You literally took all your shit and left. I thought like you didn't want to be here.
Okay, I'm going to break into your house then.
Dude, what the actual fuck?
Well, I just broke your fucking key thing, so that sucks.
What key thing?
I don't know. You're going to have to open the door to see it, because that's where it's fucked up from the outside, you fucking dick.
Wow.
Okay.
Now open the door.
No. Like, you're not, like, you're like saying you're breaking shit and stuff. Like, you're not coming in my house.
I will break shit. I will break shit. Do I have to, like, call the police?
Why? Why would you call the police?
Do I have to call the police? Are you not going to let me into my house?
This is not your house. All right, I'm calling my mom.
God, I wish he would have called the police on her.
I'm calling my mom.
No, you're not. No,
yes,
you're
I
not.
am. I'm calling you. You're not doing this.
Then we're going to break up. Then
This is my house. You
then
don't.
we are done. If you do not let me in the house that I sleep in every night, we are done.
Kenzie, I can't
If
let
this
you in
phone
the house.
call hits 10 minutes and I'm not in the house, then we're done.
No, Kenzie. No, Kenzie. I'm calling my mom. Goodbye.
No, you're not.
That's wild, right? And again, you guys should definitely tune into the text message readings, because this is not like a one-time type of deal fight. They fought like this constantly. And it's just so sad, you know. It's terrible. That is it for today. We went over a lot, and that's only just some of the documents. So RIP Dom, what a scary situation to have been living with someone like that for so long. Sick. He's too nice. I would say, I'm calling the cops on you. Dom was so done. He was whistling. Who does this to someone's car? The compulsion to harm something and or someone is alarming. Yeah, it is. RIP Dom and Davion. Kenzie, you suck forever. And shout out to you guys for being here. I will be back with another Kenzie live either later or tomorrow. Make sure your notifications are on. We're going to continue to cover the text messages. We have a lot of stuff that I still need to get through with her social medias. We have the Instagram Celebrate report, and we have body cams and videos, etc. So we're going to continue to cover it every single day. Melly covered the communication extensively, and no one else has done that. Thank you, Nemo. Make sure you guys tap that like button. Actually, Dom's sister is live right now, the Big Sister Unhinged. So let's go over there and support everyone. Go over there and say, Melly sent me. Let's do a Melly raid over there and show our love and support. Please make sure you tap the like button as well. Shout out to all the replay viewers. And I will see you guys on the next live. Like I said, we will be continuing Laura, the David case, Kenzie. I cover everything. So for all the new viewers, we do also cover other cases, not just the Kenzie one. But shout out to you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. Please make sure you tap the like button on the way out. RIP Dom and Davion. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.